Hey guys, my name is Nate Jones, and today I want to share my testimony with you about why I'm no longer a Christian. First, I want to take you back to tell you how I became a Christian. Like a lot of people, especially folks that are born in the United States, parents typically are Christians in America, and they teach their children this. So that's basically what happened. Anyhow, that's where the thought was planted in my mind. From there, um, I kind of pretty much just strayed away from religion altogether for many, many, many years, um, all the way up until the time I was about 22, actually. However, I have to point out, I think it's noteworthy that over the course of those years, I heard about religion everywhere. I mean, let's face it, you can't live in the United States and not hear about religion. It's on the television, it's on the radio. You'll find religious pamphlets and literature and things of this nature. It's everywhere. So, in addition to that, I also can recall um, encountering many street preachers, and evangelists and things like that, missionaries even. And I would see them on the streets handing out literature and stuff like that, especially in the inner cities. I come from the Washington D.C. area, and I used to go there a lot as a teenager and hang out, especially in Georgetown and places like that. And I would see these street preachers handing out literature all the time, and I would sometimes listen. I would sometimes take the literature. I would read it. So again, these thoughts and stuff, they were all being implanted into my mind. In fact, I can remember one time, um, at about the age of 15 or 16, I actually got into a little bit of trouble with the law, and I was actually taken into custody and put into a juvenile detention center for about 2 or 3 days. While I was there, I can remember finding religious literature just like lying around. I have no idea who put it there, but I began to read these things. I remember one of them was it's called a chick tract. Maybe some of you guys are familiar with this. The specific one, I remember it very well. It was called "This Is Your Life," and it basically gives you the whole spiel about Christianity and God's judgment and this sort of thing. So anyhow, I can remember reading that, and boy, it really spoke volumes to me as a young teenager who was, in trouble at that particular time. So, anyhow, moving forward, again, I think all these thoughts and stuff that were implanted into my mind by a mostly dominantly Christian society, it obviously influenced me. And I never thought twice about whether this stuff was for real or not. I just assumed that it was. Now, I wasn't living that lifestyle. I had not yet devoted myself to Christianity and the Bible. Nevertheless, I did believe that it was the real deal. So, at the age of 22, I found myself in trouble again. But this time it was much more serious, and the period of time that I was incarcerated was much longer. I actually ended up spending about 60 days in a county jail, and that's where I did devote myself fully to what I thought was God and Jesus. Um, so without going into a long story about that, um, let's just say that I got really serious about it, and it actually did help me. It helped me to get sober, and it helped me to make better choices. It definitely did a lot of good for me. However, I think it did a lot of bad things that I didn't even see. I was thinking that man is head over women, which is obviously, kind of derogatory towards women and degrading towards women. I was definitely against homosexuality and things of that nature. Again, these are very negative, derogatory things, and certainly intolerant of those that are born differently than myself. So I didn't see these negative effects until much later in my life. I recently turned 40 years old, and just before I turned 40, I actually lost my father. And I think hitting 40 and having gone through all the things that I've been through, it just kind of brought about a new perspective on things. I started to look at things different. I've always heard these atheists and agnostics, and people of other faiths, talking about all, sorts of different things other than what Christianity teaches. And although I was secure and firm in my beliefs in the Christian faith, I believe that I do have an open mind. I did have an open mind, and I listened. I heard what those people were saying. I didn't agree with them, but I listened. And over time, I guess some of those things, they stuck with me, and it caused me to go and do some research and to think for myself and look into what these people were saying. So again, once I hit 40, just a couple of months ago, I just I reached a point where I said within myself, I said, I really want to know the truth. I seek the truth, and I want to know the truth so badly that I'm willing to admit that I'm wrong. If in fact the evidence somehow reveals that Christianity is wrong and the Bible is wrong and everything I believe is wrong, I've said if that's what it takes to convince me of the truth, so be it. Or as far as I knew, maybe I would discover that the evidence points to God, and that God is real and true, and so is the Bible and these sort of things. So I didn't know what I was going to find. I just know that I was determined to find the truth, and still am. I believe that's going to be a lifelong goal for me, is to always seek truth. So over a period of about 30 days or so, I have just literally studied and studied and questioned and studied night and day for literally 30 days straight. And as a result, I've now come to the realization that God, Christianity, religion in general, the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Quran, all these so-called holy books, these are really just myths. There's no factual basis to them. Believe me, I've researched it. I've done the homework. I've found nothing that can support it. By the way, I think it's noteworthy to point out that when I was still a Christian, I had studied apologetics, which, if you don't know, is the area of study in Bible college that is used to defend the Christian faith. Okay, so I was very much into that. You got to understand the type of Christian I was. I was hardcore Bible thumper. Okay, I studied that Bible cover to cover, 24 hours a day. That's all I lived and breathed. Okay, so I really knew the Word, and I went beyond the Word. I went outside of the Bible. I sought out other resources. I took Bible college courses. I never got my degree, but I did take several college courses. And so the point is, I'm aware of the supposed evidences that supposedly prove the Bible to be true. I used to believe in those things, and I would use them to support my faith and to help convince others. Of course, now I know that those supposed evidences are really not evidences at all. The end result, of course, is that I've become an atheist. But the problem is that people don't understand what that even means. It seems like it's almost like you're saying something horrible and awful when you tell people that you're an atheist. At least when you tell religious folks that. So the first thing that my Christian friends and family thought was, "Oh my gosh, why are you angry at God?" And of course, people blamed it on maybe the loss of my father. Thinking that, oh, okay, now I'm angry at God. And this is the case sometimes. I have, in fact, heard testimonies of people that go through some traumatic event or what have you, and this does cause them to become angry with God. In my case, that is not it at all. My research and questioning has absolutely nothing to do with being angry at anyone. It truly is a matter of just searching for truth and wanting to know the truth, eagerly wanting, passionately wanting to know truth of any matter. And that's it. That's all it has to do with. And so, again, the evidence leads me to believe that the Bible is a myth. And the evidence points to things like human evolution. Okay, science is answering many mysteries that religion really can't answer, other than simply saying, "Oh, it's God." Okay, so again, I'm not angry with something I don't even believe in. I don't even understand that concept. How can I be angry with someone or something that I don't even believe in? So I'm not angry. I'm not hostile. I'm not violent. Um, some people have accused me of being intolerant towards the religious folks now. Uh, of course, you can see all sorts of posts on my Facebook account about atheism and so forth. But if you look at it closely, I think you'll see that it's really not being intolerant at all. It has nothing to do with being intolerant. They're just posts to make people think. They ask questions like, well, why do you believe what you believe? Is it because it's just what your parents taught you and that's what you've always accepted? Or have you actually done the research and, thought this thing out? Okay. I've actually questioned people over the years when I was a Christian. I questioned them why they believed. And this is something that I've done. It's not like I conducted a survey or anything, but kind of in my own mind, it was like a survey. And I'll tell you, the overwhelming majority of people, they didn't really have a clue why they believed what they believed. In fact, many Christians that I have talked to over the years, they don't even know what their specific church believes. As you know, there's, many, many denominations out there, okay? And each one has a different set of beliefs, and different interpretations of the Bible and so forth. But seriously, many, many Christians, they have no idea what their church is actually believing. So that's frightening, I think. It's like just sheep blindly, going in and worshiping and practicing, and they don't even really understand what it is fully. So that's not been the kind of person that I am. I actually have had the privilege of studying many churches, many denominations. So I guess you could say that I was a very unique Christian. I was a Christian, but I was very different from the norm. I actually did what they call church hopping. I went from church to church. I never actually even joined the church, and I would study these different beliefs and so forth. So if you would have asked me back then, well, why do you believe what you believe? I would have told you. I would have had a very long, thought-out answer for you, okay? So that's just me. That's the kind of person that I am. So anyhow, I think it's important for people to try and see that I'm not angry. I'm not upset with something I don't even believe in. It's just a matter of doing some research, using my mind, and understanding the world around me. And I wanted to put this on video instead of typing it out so people could see my facial expressions, see my demeanor, see that I'm calm. I'm a very calm person. I'm not upset. I'm not angry at anyone. I just simply have uncovered that these religions are basically myths. And, people that want to believe in it, more power to them. I'm all for the First Amendment right, freedom of religion, freedom of speech. But as for me, I'm just not gonna believe in these myths anymore. I want to see reality for what it is. So I hope that many others will eventually also come to the same conclusion that I have. I hope that people will not just take my word for it, but go out there and do the research on your own, and then see for yourself and make your own determinations. So anyway, I have a lot more to say on this subject, but I guess that's it for now, and I hope you enjoyed that story. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching the Cerebral Thinker channel. Please like and comment below. Now let's all start thinking.